Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Language Arts Gallery. Today, we're going to continue with day 2 of writing a personal narrative for young learners. So if you haven't already, please remember to subscribe to my channel so you get all the videos in this genre of writing. And you can find this lesson and all my academic writing lessons in my Teachers Pay Teachers store, which is linked in the video description. So let's go ahead and let's get started with day 2, and we're going to be talking about adding sequence words to our writing. In our last lesson, we introduced students to this new genre of writing, a personal narrative. And we said that a personal narrative is a story that a student writes about his or her own life. Because they're writing about their own life, they're going to write from the first person point of view. And they're going to use pronouns like I, me, my, we, or our. And like all good writing, a personal narrative has a beginning, a middle, and an end. In the beginning of our story, we want to get our reader's attention. We want to draw that reader in with a good hook. Maybe it's a strong statement, or maybe we ask a question, but we want to get the audience interested in reading this essay. Then we want to introduce whatever it is we're writing about. It could be our first day of school. It could be a great vacation we took with our friends. It could be the time we went and saw our favorite movie. And then if we've structured this around a problem, we want to introduce that problem to the reader in the introduction. Not every personal narrative is organized around problem and solution, but some are. In the middle of our essay is when we want to develop the plot. That's when we want to let our audience know what's actually happened. And to do that, we want to add good sequence words. And we're going to talk today about how we can do that. And finally, at the end of our story, we want to know, how did this experience make us feel? Why was it so special to us? And perhaps what did we learn from it? Or maybe why did we choose to write about this? So let's talk a little bit about sequence of events. So we know a lot of sequence words like first, next, then, and last. I always tell my students those are our big four. Finally is another one. We can also use phrases like after that, in the morning, after lunch, soon, or at 2 o'clock. I also talk with my students about sharing information about what's happening while something else is happening. So we might say, while I sat waiting, my classmate was busy preparing the surprise. So we can add all sorts of sequence words, and this is a great opportunity for our students to brainstorm those different ideas and to see what we can come up with. So let's take a quick look at our mentor text from day 1, and we're going to try and pick out the sequence words in that text, and then we're going to talk about how we can make it better. I started a new school last Monday. Well, I see right there, last Monday. That's a great sequence phrase. I had to ride the bus to school. No one talked to me, so I felt sad. I got to school and met my teacher, Mrs. Smith. She was very nice to me. We started our reading class. We were reading my favorite story. I was so excited. I met a girl named Monica who also loved the story. We worked together all morning. We went to lunch and played together at recess. The whole day was really fun. I was really scared about starting a new school, but I made a new friend and had a lot of fun. I really love my new school. So I love that the author shared her feelings or his feelings in this text. I don't see a lot of sequence phrases here, but I see a lot of opportunities for sequence words or sequence phrases. All morning is one that I see here. I would add that. And here we have both of those two phrases highlighted. But as I said, we've got a lot of great opportunities to add sequence words and phrases. So I would get my students to work through this. I also share this here as a PDF for the students to practice adding sequence words of their own. But we can work through this together as a class. We can say first, next, after that, then, later that day. And I like this. At first, I was really scared about starting a new school, but I made a new friend and had a lot of fun. We could even add another phrase there and say, as the day went on, I had a lot of fun. So I want to give my students the opportunity to peer review their essays. So they're going to work in pairs and they're going to edit one another's essays. They're going to read what they've drafted and they're going to suggest one or two changes that their partner can make related to sequence words and phrases. And they've got a word bank with some suggestions, but they're free to use any of those phrases that you brainstorm with them during the lesson. So thank you so much for joining me. Please remember to subscribe to my channel so you get all these videos, and I'll see you in our next lesson at the Language Arts Gallery.